but it's better than the alternative. And so I'm very delighted to join you to share your concern not only with the compensation matters, but recently our judiciary has itself become the target of threats and violent acts. We all know the murder of a judge in Chicago, and we're disturbed about the fact that there have been many other threats of violence since then, and so we have a Court Security and Improvement Act, which is intended to improve security for court officers and safeguard judges, not only in the courtroom, but their families and at their residences as well. It would authorize grants to states to protect state court officials too. And so I've been joined by a number of my friends in the Congress on Judiciary Committee, Congressman Bobby Scott of Virginia, who's subcommittee chairman of the Crime Committee, Judge Louis Gohmert of Texas, who have both joined me in that effort. And so we gather here at this conference, which sounds so exciting. I want to try to pick up on some of the issues that we have been talking about and present to you a perspective about how I see the role of my committee in terms of dealing with the whole question of the judiciary and the Judiciary Committee itself. One of the things that we're proud of is that every year there is a meeting between the Chief Justice and the chairman and ranking member of both the House Judiciary Committee and the Senate Judiciary Committee. And I have enjoyed those discussions with the Chief Justice, the past deceased Chief Justice and the present Chief Justice Roberts, immensely. We normally have a number of judges that are visiting that join with us in these discussions. And it gives me a rare opportunity to talk with them about some of these same issues that have been a concern of the voice of the defense bar. And so I join you today to give you this perspective. First of all, we have a serious problem, in my view, about the direction of the Department of Justice primarily. It's in a difficult situation. Many have left. Morale is gone. The Attorney General has resigned. I was pleased to have been visited by Judge Mukasey, who is the current, is the nominee, and we had a very, very good discussion. Of course, I didn't know much about him before then, but of course, everybody will know everything about him before that process ends. May I say also that I'm so privileged that I was contacted by Dennis Archer of Detroit, of Dickinson and Wright, the former mayor of Detroit, the first African-American president of the American Bar Association, a state Supreme Court justice, and many other activities. He's going strong as he has for many decades now, and I am pleased that he has a very good relationship with the defense bar as well. But back to the Department of Justice, because what essentially has come up that is, it seems to me to be very important, is the fact that through the firing of 9 U.S. attorneys and other complaints that have come up, and we've held some hearings on these matters, is that the question of the politicalization of the Department of Justice itself has become a major concern of the Judiciary Committee in the House. What we're trying to do, and we've begun hearings particularly on the question of the Civil Rights Division, where we've had so few cases brought to enforce the findings and recommendations of the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. And it's our goal to try to restore not just the Civil Rights Division, but to concern ourselves with voter integrity, which has plagued the last several elections in our country. And so we're working on this whole notion of rebuilding the system in the Department of Justice to make sure that people believe in it, can feel that there's nobody being singled out for political reasons or election reasons. And we've had a number of hearings that are probing as well as we can. And I must say I'm proud of the bipartisan spirit that almost always controls the operation of the Judiciary Committee. Now, we feel that the Judiciary Committee is very important because of the 3 branches of government. It's designed to be as less partisan as any of the 3 branches, and that's what we hope to have continued. And it's in that spirit that we're going through every department, every section, every division of the Department of Justice to make sure that happens. We do have a number of activities that we find disturbing that we'd like to resolve. And some of the issues that I'd like to just run down, well, let's start with the one we just passed a law dealing with the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, in which we began to more carefully affect that balance between protecting the citizens and the nation and preserving civil liberties and constitutional rights. A question that is always appropriate, but particularly in view of what we've been doing lately. And what we did is report for the Senate's consideration a measure that creates a way for there to be created a method of viewing the rules around which we will begin to deal with some of the sensitive questions. We don't employ the FISA court when there are